Eric, you seen any good movies recently?
Fuck you.
Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon podcast. I'm your host, Perry. With me this week, it's my dearest friend in the whole world that I'm afraid is about to shank me in the kidneys, Eric the Whiskey Mutant.
Hello. No, I may have poisoned your drink, but
That's what I was afraid of.
no, seriously, this is a drink was just something I wanted to do for my friend. who
Yeah.
I love very much. That I never thought would do anything to me. I never thought you had it in you.
Do we want to talk about it up top?
I
think we should. I think we should.
I don't want to talk about it at all.
Well, I want to get this out of the way because I just don't want to. I don't want it to linger for too long.
Do you have to let it linger?
So Thursday night, my brother was telling me about this movie that his best friend had told him to watch called Gunda. And he told my brother that it was just unbelievable and you needed to go in without any information beforehand, and that Joaquin Phoenix was a producer on it.
Of course he was.
Was he actually?
I don't know.
I didn't think he was.
I didn't stay around till the credits. Maybe I fast forward them.
And here's the thing. It's like an avant-garde black and white documentary about a pig.
Yeah. But if you hear the word Gunda, I thought it was something anime at first. Then I was like, oh, this sounds kind of weird. I just was like, okay, this is some... Perry always watches weird things on vacation, like when nothing else is on. So, like, I was like, okay, this is maybe some A24 thing or something. So he was like, you got to watch this before the next recording, thinking that he had watched it. So you know what I did?
Haven't seen it.
You know what?
Haven't seen it.
No. Let's go through the go through
All right.
the motion here. So I had worked all week. I had Thursday. I worked Thursday. Everybody was asleep. I didn't have to get up too early Friday. And, I was going to watch some anime. Everybody was asleep. But, I was like, as a co-host who does his part, gets ready for each episode, Perry tells me to do something. Most of the time I'm doing it. I turned this on to watch it. And I'll never get an hour and a half of my life back. This movie is in black and white, and I like documentaries. I've even watched animal documentaries. Usually there's a narrator that does a little story along with it.
Dead silent the whole
Nothing.
time. Just animal noises, right?
I watched 5 minutes. Nothing even's happening until these little baby pigs come out. So this mommy pig just gave birth to these pigs, and then they're just different angles, just pigs. And then all of a sudden there's chickens, a weird chicken. Then it just goes to some cows.
Can I read everybody my favorite text from you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Black and white pig tits,
Yep.
ugly chickens, some cows, a tractor thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then Perry's like, you know what? I haven't even watched it. And I about blew my brains out. I had just been duped. My night off. Time that I could have been catching up on anime or TV shows. And I have just sat through this thing because I'm not drinking, nothing. I'm just watching this, waiting for this weird thing to happen.
Thinking it was like an A24 style horror
I thought
movie.
in the middle it was going to cut to black and then the pig's going to be dead and there's going to be stuff coming out of his eyes and it's going to be like, oh, this is it. Nothing. Tractor comes up. I was like, oh, they're going to run over that ugly chicken. Nope.
Chicken runs away?
I mean, it just cuts off to like the tractor just doing stuff. Little pigs are just running around. Nobody dies. No weird stuff. Just me being curious for an hour and a half to see if there's one thing about this movie that's like some kind of special thing, the reason people are talking about it. Oh, you got to watch this 5 seconds in this movie. Comes out of nowhere. Nothing. An hour and fucking 33 minutes of black and white, non-narrated animals and a tractor thing.
I'm really sorry.
And you're just dying laughing knowing that I did this.
I was pissing myself.
And I immediately set it down and I go, what podcast does Perry listen to where they played this prank on somebody? Because I kind of want to listen to it right now. But apparently it was your brother.
Yeah, it's the podcast of life, man.
It's fuck you, Dane.
Well, he didn't even do it to anybody else. His best friend did it to him.
He gave you the idea.
That is true.
He should have kept it at that. It's like the curse. You just end it at that one point. You don't pass it on to people.
Yeah, it's the cheese touch.
Yeah, the cheese
Here's
touch.
the thing,
the stinky
too.
cheese. The following.
I think that movie exists just for this kind of thing.
It has to. There is somebody
Just
who
to
loves
play
that, though.
prank.
There's somebody who loves this movie.
Oh, it's probably won awards.
Ugliest chicken I've ever seen pops up. I think he had a disease or something. You know what I did for Perry on the pregame chats? I made him the Disney coffee that I talk about all the time because you can finally buy the cold brew online. And he thought I did something to it. And I didn't do anything to it. I gave it my love. I gave it my blessing.
See, now I'm convinced that the payback is the mental anguish that I'll have to endure for the rest of this episode.
Well, you might as well tell them where to go support the show.
Well, if you want to do that, you can head to patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast for as little as $1 a month, for as little as $5 a month. I don't like that. You can get a bunch of bonus content. And speaking of bonus content, we are on the precipice of the second ever Big Ass August. That's right. Over on patreon.com/My Bourbon Podcast throughout the entire month of August, we are going to be putting up so much bonus content, at least double, maybe even triple what we normally do.
Triple.
Well, it depends on what kind of time we have.
Quadruple.
Sure, why not?
It's a big ass August.
Bigger, assier, and classier.
More tits than a pig. In black and white.
I've heard pig milk is really grainy.
Ugh. After watching that, I don't want nothing to do with no pig milk.
Anyway, so Big Ass August, right around the corner. Tell your friends. We got some awesome stuff coming. Some old favorites, some new experiments, and we're gonna do some perks as well. We'll talk about that a little bit closer to time.
Yeah,
but we normally start episodes out with Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks. And
give me a glass. Don't look.
Eric said he's got a Flying Blind for me this week, folks.
Yeah, you better be ready.
Watch, it's all going to be like... I don't know, man. That's a good pour, too.
Well...
Yes, this is the punishment. It's the mental anguish. Jeez Louise, man.
I figured we could sip on it throughout because now that I think about it, after you show me what we are going to review, this is kind of a hint what it is, so you'll know. But probably could compare this. So we could save a little bit.
Oh, okay, sure. It does smell very rye forward.
You are correct.
Thank God. I'm sorry for my weird energy today because I'm playing defense.
I'm gonna let this sink in for a couple weeks. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
Like that?
That's pretty good.
Ooh, haven't had that in a while.
I don't mind that at all.
So yes, it is a rye.
Yeah, the finish is really nice.
Anything you want to guess about it?
Kentucky,
I don't think so.
Indiana.
I think so. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna say 8 years old.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 110-ish proof.
Okay.
I'm gonna say not finished. And a single barrel.
Yes.
Hey.
Well, in honor of this week, it's Shark Week.
Oh, heck yeah.
And this was picked by our good friends at the podcast. This is Shark Repellent.
Dadgum, I almost got it 100%.
This is a 8-year-old single barrel rye whiskey. It's 119 proof.
Yeah.
This is Staves and Grain. And this is a podcast pick. This was before Oak and Thieves. Yeah, and they got the little shark repellent. So I thought that'd be interesting for Shark Week this week. And then it ended up going pretty good with what we're going to review. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
How are you and yours celebrating Shark Week?
Well, April's up there watching it. I like sharks. I think they're interesting. I can't watch like 3 hours of shark shows. April, on the other hand, loves it. Like she lives, like this is her thing. She grew up wanting to be like a marine biologist.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Wow.
She loves it. So I will probably randomly watch shows with her when we're not doing practices or I'm not at work or something like that.
When when it falls on the same week as like family vacation, we'll typically have it turned on.
Do you ever watch it and then just immediately run out into the water?
I can't say I have yet,
No.
but there's a first for everything.
You ever scared Dane when he was little, like, shark? You ever do that?
No, because I was going to get in trouble.
Who would fall for it more, Dane or Sarah, if you did that kind of joke?
Sarah.
Would you?
Sarah, yeah. Sarah was a little bit more anxiety driven than me or Dane. But
I do like when they do like the Jackass guys did like a Shark Week show,
Yeah.
and so I can get into that stuff. So pretty good, right?
it's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I like it. What have you been drinking recently?
What have I been drinking? Let's see. I did a little pairing with Frank August.
Yeah.
Which I've got extra one I need to send home with you.
Cool.
So I had some Frank August. Had a little Maker's Mark at the movies today.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the movies I watched that
he
I
actually
did enjoy.
enjoyed.
Didn't even have a pour with Gunda. Didn't even have anything.
I don't understand that.
It was like 11 o'clock at night when I started watching this. If I would have started drinking 11 o'clock at night, it would have been bad the next day.
Yeah, that's
Because I would have probably upped the proof as this movie went on.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
no, I didn't have another one Gunda. Had some Maker's Mark today, just in my flask. I did the old, give me a neat pour of Maker's at the bar. Got my cup. Then I drank on some Maker's. What else have I had? I don't think I worked a lot. We went to Top Golf. I had some beer. Yeah, that's about it. I'd
Nice.
say beer, Makers, Frank August.
Okay.
No fun beer either, just light beer. I did like a trio of light beers.
Oh,
I did
really?
a Mick Ultra, I did a Bud Light, and I did a Miller Lite. Just to mix it up.
Just to see.
And they
just
all
to see
taste
what the hype.
almost the same.
Extra water.
Extra water.
Had some fun beers last week. I survived mostly on Voodoo Ranger
Oh,
IPAs.
yeah.
Juicy Haze was the one that I had the most during the week. It's like it's a like fruit juice. I think it's called
Like a grapefruit?
no.
Oh.
I think it's called like it's supposed to be a fruit punch
Yeah.
IPA or something like that, but juice fruit or something. I can't remember exactly what it
IPAs
was.
absolutely kill my stomach.
Really?
Yes. I don't know what it is. I guess it's
the hops.
The hops.
Yeah.
That's why I pretty much stick to just like some regular light beers or like the fruity beers or
Yeah.
something. But IPAs absolutely kill me. When I first tried West 6, I was like, this is really good. And then I immediately regretted it the next day. I felt so bad.
Lucy also got for me the Sierra Nevada has the hazy little thing.
Yeah.
IPA.
Who has the all day IPA? Is that the same?
That's also Sierra Nevada.
It's like a lighter version or something?
Yeah. But they have a special edition of the hazy little thing called Juicy Little Thing right now. And it's a juicier, hazier.
Yeah. That's what she says about you too, right? Juicy little thing.
Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh. But also Lucy and I went out for date night one night while we were gone. Had a couple of bourbon cocktails alongside some excellent food. I'll shout out the places that we went. It was on Sullivan's Island in South Carolina, nice. About 30 minutes outside of Charleston.
Okay.
I think. First place we went to was called the Longboard. We've been there before. We actually went there last year and met up with Curtis.
Oh, nice.
And his wife, Allie. I think I talked about it on the podcast. This year, we just kind of kept it simple. Wanted to have a date night, hang out, all that. And I got a cocktail called the Smoke Signal, which was a bourbon cocktail with mezcal.
Oh.
Which Trevor Wallace has.
Oh, yeah. He has a good one about that. Guys who drink mezcal.
And bourbon.
Yeah, he has a bourbon one.
Yeah, the two. Yeah, anyway. Really freaking good. I had oysters, and then we had a couple of sushi rolls while we were at the Longboard. And then we hopped over to another restaurant on Sullivan's called the Obstinate Daughter. Had a bourbon cocktail there called the Lafayette. It was just kind of an elevated, old-fashioned. It was really good.
Nice.
And I had a crispy duck leg.
A crispy duck leg.
Crispy duck leg.
Was there any ducks in Gunda? I don't think so.
Plenty of chickens.
Plenty of chickens. I don't know the last time I had duck.
I love duck, man. It's so rich that it's hard to have often.
Yeah.
But just when it's done right, it's done really, really well.
Right.
So
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
I enjoyed getting pictures that you all drew of me, you and Eden. Perry sent me.
I'll throw it up on screen, too, for the video watchers. But Eden comes up to me with a piece of paper and a pencil. She goes, "Daddy, draw." And the way she says your name is Eck.
Eck, yeah,
not Eric.
Yeah.
And so I drew a picture of Eric, and gave him the nice chill. It was also kind of that same picture that was on the meetup weekend banner.
Yeah.
That was the intention. I tried to draw a little, and the thing about it was too, I was drawing it with the paper like resting on my leg.
Yeah.
And she kept like coming up and wanting to see it before I was done. So she's like making me anxious and like knocking the paper all over the place. And like, I'm trying to draw. So I didn't get all the way through. I think Lucy drew your legs.
Yeah.
So,
but we should, if anybody listening draws me and sends it to like the email or DMs us on Instagram, whoever, me or the podcast page, if we get at least 5, we'll vote, and I will change my profile pic for a week to that picture.
Incredible.
And I'll shout out whoever we pick as the best. But we got to get 5 because I'm not going to do this thing where like one person does it.
And then like a couple weeks later, another person does it.
1 week from when this airs, for 1 week, send me a picture. And the week after, we will vote on the best one. And then I will change my profile pic for a week to that person's. You can do it whatever you want. It's just a picture of me.
I love it.
Let's see.
Sounds good.
You can even do it on Threads. You can tag us on
Threads. Put it on
Threads.
Yeah. At my bourbon pod at West Commuting.
Yeah.
I guess you could do it on X soon too instead
of
what? Twitter.
Is that what it's going to do?
Yeah. I think it's still going to be called Twitter, but he's changing he's getting rid of the birds.
Why? Okay, so how do you feel about like if they fight, if they legit do a UFC fight Have you seen Zuckerberg training with UFC fighters?
No.
The dude.
No,
legit.
I think Zuckerberg could take Musk.
Yeah, you should see
I just don't want to watch the fight. I just have no interest in it.
What if they did like a series of stuff? Like one was a fight, and then they did like a video game, then they did like a debate, then it was like the most nerdy,
And then they did a marathon.
something like the most nerdy thing ever.
Have you seen that? So one of the local breweries in Lexington, it's called Rock House Brewing.
Yeah.
Did you see that they brought back their annual pickle run?
I think I did see somebody posted that. I know a pickle beer or something like that.
Yeah, so it's how they bring back their pickle beer, but they also like the run itself is like 4 laps around their parking lot.
Oh, this reminds me. Okay, let me run this by you.
Okay.
Speaking of running, I did forget to mention I had old fashions at Old Pepper the other day. We went down to Goodfellas. We get down to the distillery district, and there's a lot of people there. I'm like, what is going on? And everybody's got like Christmas stuff on. I'm like, what is this?
Christmas in July?
Something like that. Yeah. But we come to find out it's called the Sweaty Santa 5K, and people are running to raise money for like get Christmas presents for
Toys for Tots or
stuff
whatever.
like that.
Yeah.
So we go into James Pepper, and they are trying to figure out what's going on. And so we're getting ready to leave, and they're like, "Do y'all know what's happening?" And they're like, "Yeah, they're having a 5K. It's called the Sweaty Santa." And I turn to these are the bartenders, and I go, "That sounds like a horrible cocktail, doesn't it? The Sweaty Santa." And the guy goes, "Huh?" And I just walked out, and I looked at April, and I go, "I totally just bombed." Because wouldn't that be a funny cocktail? The Sweaty Santa? Like a Christmas cocktail?
Was he not paying attention?
No, he heard me. He goes, huh? Like he was confused. And I just kept walking. And I go, totally bombed. Walked out. The Sweaty Santa sounds like a great
That's hilarious.
Cocktail. Yeah, totally didn't get it. Both of them. 2 guys sitting there. Huh? Confused. Huh? I just kept my head forward and I just walked out. And I was like, let's get some pizza. Can't do this anymore. Bombed.
I'm sorry.
Sweaty Santa. I mean, perfect cocktail.
What would go into it?
Okay, let's see. I would want
cinnamon.
I would. It would be kind of a gingerbread forward, but I would want something a little like off-putting, like to just be like sweaty. Like, what could you put like a floater that would kind of look like sweat? Almost like a, I don't know if you could do vodka, if you'd have to like put some food coloring in something, make it blue. I don't know.
Something that's dense enough. Well, light enough that it would float.
Right.
But it's got to be dense enough to notice.
Yeah. Imagine like some kind of like cocoa old fashioned or something.
Thick water.
Cocoa old fashioned. Maybe you even throw in a cherry just to make it look Christmassy, but on top there's just something disgusting, like just like laying on top of it. That's the sweat.
I think thick water.
Thick water?
Yeah.
What's that? What's thick water?
We've talked about this before.
Have we?
Yeah, because you have that thickening agent for
that stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
I can get
like
that.
you add it to well, so on Chuckle Sandwich. Sorry, I keep talking about it, but the thing they always do with guests when they're in person is make them drink
thick water.
Thick water.
Oh, okay.
And they have the like big Walgreens sized tub
of thickening
agent, and Jay Schlatt will just dump like 3 or 4 scoops into it, and the result is something.
Did we ever try that with alcohol?
No.
Should we?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if we should do it. I kind of want to do it for stream because I think the visual aspect of it is pretty.
We should try to make the
important.
Sweaty Santa next time we do a stream or something.
I think that sounds good.
All right.
I should be back, by the way, to streaming this Thursday.
You going to stream in the office?
I think so. That's the plan.
Come on, you should start the show out like that. Hey,
come on in, y'all. The water's fine.
It's your turn. Go ahead and take your seat. This is 10-bit couch.
Somebody on the Discord said, "What 70s porn set did you film this week's episode on?" It was beautiful.
It was perfect.
That was just awesome. I think that was Brandon Stevens that said that.
That's good.
Yeah, man. Ugh, so funny. Did you have anything else for me to suffer through? Or worry that you might have stopped poison? I'm getting tired too. I feel like you crushed up
I gave you caffeine.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem.
I crushed up Ambien. Did I ever tell you about the time I took Ambien?
I don't know. I don't know if you've told me.
Did April tell you?
No.
Oh,
I'm saying. Sorry,
I was
I
like,
didn't
you've
phrase
heard
that.
this story
I didn't.
somewhere.
I did not use the. I put the wrong emphasis on the. No, but I don't even know if I've told you when I was on
Oh,
Ambien.
should we talk about this before the review?
I don't see why not.
With Ambien?
This episode is kind of all over the place. So,
all right, you go first.
I mean, mine is fairly simple, but when I was 14, I went through a period where I was pretty sick.
Yeah.
I had mono, and then I got my tonsils out like 2 weeks after I had like fully recovered.
Yeah.
I was out 6 weeks with mono, and then I was out another 4 weeks after I got my tonsils taken out. And I was having trouble sleeping. You know, it just was a lot of anxiety, and my doctor was like, and I was still seeing my pediatrician. You know?
Right. Yeah.
I'm young enough. I'm young enough for it.
20.
He's like, well, we're just going to give you some Ambien, not like generic
Right.
Ambien.
Yeah. The good stuff.
I was like, we'll see how you do.
How did
I was
you
like,
do?
I was so high, man. And it was a good, like, giggly high, but it took a long time for it to really kick in. It probably took about an hour
Yeah.
after I took it. And when it kicked in is when I went to go pee before bed. And I was standing over the toilet, and I could literally feel my head just like click.
You just hitting the wall?
And no. It was like my brain just like shifted when it hit. And then everything just kind of started getting wavy. And I just started laughing a whole lot. And I go down the stairs to go tell my mom. I'm like hunched over.
Mommy.
I'm walking down the hallway. I'm like, Mom.
Yeah.
I feel weird.
Freaking hereditary over here.
Yeah. And so I did not sleep super well that night. I am pretty sure I had nightmares, though I can't remember what they were. And the next day, you know, I was at home. I watched, what did I watch? Oh, I watched the Yellow Submarine movie.
Yeah.
Freaked me out, dude.
And you're 14.
I was like 14.
On Ambien.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
on an Ambien hangover watching Yellow Submarine.
Did not sit well. And then I think like I tried it again the next night just in case it was like, you know, just my body trying to get used to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't go back downstairs or anything. I don't think I did at the very least, but I still did not. It didn't put me to sleep the way that it was supposed to. So, when did you take Ambien?
Well, I took Ambien about 15 years ago.
Okay.
I'd had a few surgeries on my Crohn's, so I was having trouble sleeping because I was so uncomfortable because it's a whole ordeal with what happened with my appendix and different things. Anyway, what was supposed to be like a simple like endoscopic surgery was a full-blown open belly. Staples from if you ever see me with my shirt off, like you'll see like this scar and it's like been opened several times. Anyway,
the way you said that was like everybody sees pictures of you without your shirt on constantly.
Well, I literally made a reel. Now I think about it, I'm like, I probably don't have my shirt on enough. At least on vacation.
At least
a lot on vacation.
As far as your kids are concerned.
Yeah. Anyway, so
we use the hashtag MILF constantly too. So.
Yeah, a lot of MILF. I'm constantly drinking on vacation.
I saw a tweet the other day that said, I'll never understand why guys are into MILFs, but they hate children.
Probably because they're not a dad.
It doesn't compute from that's probably exactly what it is.
But yeah, my thing was I was uncomfortable. I was healing. Like I couldn't hardly move in the bed. Like, and so yeah, my doctor's like, I was trying some Ambien, and I was like, I don't know, because I've been taking care of patients. My job, and when you give somebody Ambien, they go crazy sometimes. Yeah. More than not, they go crazy. But I was like, all right, let's give this a shot. Even April was like, I don't, you're not sleeping. Like, we can't sleep. I can't sleep because I'm worried about you. So try it, see if it helps. So I've come to the conclusion that for me, Ambien does not help me sleep. It just makes me forget everything that happened in the middle of the night. And maybe I wake up thinking I slept, because we were at, we lived in a 2-story apartment at the time. And April had to get me in the house from the parking lot. And I was butt naked.
Yeah. I remember this.
Yeah,
now.
we've told this sometime when we've been out with you.
I don't know if I
think you and Lucy and April were all doing something. Yeah. But yes, so she's trying to get me up the steps into this apartment to go to bed, and I'm butt naked in the parking lot in Hamburg, in the middle of Hamburg.
Not Germany.
No.
Mind you.
Lexington, Kentucky.
Not even a subdivision.
I woke up and was like, man, I think it worked. And April was like, it did not. She was like, I fought with you all night long while you were naked outside. I was like, huh? I had no clue. No clue. And that was the last time I took Ambien.
Oh my gosh. The fallout on my end too was I was on I was at church camp, and I was trying to tell it was my youth minister and like a couple of people who were.
You're like, I took some drugs.
No. We were talking about like having trouble falling asleep.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I was sick, my doctor prescribed Ambien no. I said he prescribed me sleep medicine. I think it started with a C, and my youth minister goes, Cialis?
Oh my God.
I was like, yeah, no.
Cialis?
That's not what it was. No, it was Ambien. But
Cialis.
Normal things you say to a 16-year-old.
Normal things youth pastors say, or whatever. Yeah. Like Cialis.
He was easy to joke with.
Yeah.
He's still alive. Brian, love you to death if you're listening or watching.
Shout out, Brian.
But, yeah.
Cialis.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's do a review. We're on a kind of single barrel picked by friends review kick at the moment. And this one, again, comes from the podcast and also the
friends at Oak and Thieves. Ry3 whiskey.
It's a blend of 3 whiskeys.
Yes. Cast strength toasted barrel finish. Batch number PR006.
Hey, PR.
Perry Ritter. 59.
Perry Ritter 006. This is how you learn I'm part of the British Secret Service.
What was that? 59.4?
Wow, did not say that right at all.
Cool.
I think it's 118.8 proof. Oh.
Darn.
Yeah, Will had posted that they were trying to move some bottles, and it was open to everybody, and I figured, well, I need another good rye sipper to have around.
Yeah, we gotta get into that eventually, getting your rye collection going.
Yeah, let's do that once we get into a new house.
I just start flooding you with rye. You're like, I can't keep up with this.
I just told Lucy I wasn't gonna have as much whiskey around.
What have I done?
Here we are. I'm really excited for this. I've actually never had anything from Ry3. Have you? I mean, aside from this, because you've had this pick.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's over there somewhere.
Oh, I was trying to. See if we could display it while we're talking about it. But that's fine. We'll just do the normal.
Just take me down.
I would rather not. Please don't take yourself out of this scenario. You're starting to make me feel even worse about everything.
Well, you already did the other night. You took me down a few notches. You can't really see it, can you? You want to leave it there?
I just thought it would be funny.
It was funny. But you don't prank me without being prepared for a comeback. But we're good right now.
I don't like that.
We're all good right now.
No, we're not. I don't feel like it.
We're good.
I don't feel like
it's
it.
all good.
All right.
Would it be better if it was like right here?
Yeah, let's just put it there because you can see the 3.
Yeah.
Or the Ry3.
There we go.
There we go. You put yourself back too.
Put you back. Right there, little swan. Perry. Hi. All right. Here we go.
Here we go. We don't know the age on this either.
I don't know if it says there or not. I'm sure we could find out.
Yeah, you call Grease.
Can we call him and just say, what's the age on the Ry3? And then I'll hang up really fast. No, I could probably just go to Oak and Thieves and see if they say anything.
Yeah. It smells so balanced.
Oh, God, it does smell good, doesn't it?
It's not overly rye forward.
No. It's got...
some stone fruit.
It's got some stone fruit, some cherries, some peaches. It really does have a peachy note.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't say on the initial post, so I'm not going to waste my time looking at that. We'll find out later.
Yeah.
If you want to know, just go to Oak and Thieves or send them a message. Yeah, it's kind of peach cobbler, like cinnamon and peaches.
Yeah. I like it, man.
I like that a lot. All right.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Ooh. Oh, wow.
There's the rye.
It really, really ramps up midway through the palate.
Marshmallow and peaches. It almost flipped for me. Now I'm getting like the more of the spices and less of the fruit, I guess it would say.
There's so much more mint on the palate. And it turns almost like cool minty.
I was going to say, like, I'm not a big mint guy.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy a little, like, junior mint every once in a while.
Yeah.
A little dark chocolate, little mint. And it's definitely got some dark, I don't know if I would say chocolate, but it's a minty and, like, some kind of, like, flavor with it.
I think the darkness that at least I'm getting is towards more of the oak.
Yeah.
I think that darkness is really coming through in more of like a char sense.
Okay.
Than anything.
Yeah, kind of smoky.
I bet that this would go really, really well with a steak.
Ooh. I think you're right. Let me go grab one. No, just imagine.
So I can throw it up?
Oh, God.
That's my payback. I get a bill from you for all the steak that I threw up.
Yeah. Could you go ahead and pay this? Take Venmo.
And also
Cash
for the
App.
stag that you chugged out of my
Still
bottle. Yeah.
We got a little left. One day we'll chug it. The end of it pours from the floor.
Yeah.
I like
that
this.
peach is so strong up front.
I like it. I like it better with each sip too.
I completely agree.
Yeah, the peach comes out more. Sorry, with second sip. Man.
Can we do something?
Yeah.
We rarely ever add water
You want to add a little water?
to these. I'm not saying like a drop.
You want to like make like?
I think like a half ounce.
Okay. You want to
water.
compare their other one with it a
Yes,
little bit?
let's do that first. Yeah.
So yes, this is.
And I'll tell you why too in a second why I want to do this little water experiment.
Okay.
But it's funny because the bones are kind of there, similarity wise, but the Ry3 is so much sweeter on the nose.
Yeah, and I would say with the toasting and all that stuff, yeah, you're going to definitely get that. I think when you compare the two, the shark repellent is definitely your
Dude, it's so... The shark repellent is aggressive.
I was going to say, it's your like kind of like single barrel rye like you expect it.
Yeah.
And when we had it a little bit ago, like I was kind of like, oh, yeah, this is really good and all that. But now when you compare it to this, which is kind of like the whole package baked and like smoothed out on the edges, this is like, here's your single barrel rye right up in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely two different experiences.
I mean, but you also have Bob and James, 2 extra pallets.
Yeah, you got 4 people picking this
with
one.
Oak and Thieves doing this. And it's a blend. It's going to have a different outcome, too, than just a single barrel. But,
I'm assuming this
regardless.
is MGP,
right? I truly don't know.
Handcrafted, blend in the bottles, blah, blah, blah. I don't even see it. Hold on. I think it says on there.
Virginia Beach, Virginia?
It just says bottled and handcrafted, so I don't know.
It's got to have somewhere, I thought, where it was. Well, I wonder if where it's got the 3 different ryes in it. Like it, I don't know.
Either way,
I got no idea.
It's good.
It's absolutely phenomenal. I believe it was like $75.
I think so.
75, 80, something like that. I mean, there's a couple of different like layers to this as far as I'm concerned. The first one is supporting friends who are working to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Also supporting creators too, like us. Like we would want to
$85, $87.99.
Yeah. We would want people to go out of their way to, buy picks that we did.
Yeah, that's kind of, same price and all that as what we did with Lawrenceburg. It's kind of a, a different brand and stuff like that. So, yeah.
But I also think that, when you take into account a brand like Ry3, and I mean, it is a pretty unique approach to creating a not single barrel, but a single batch.
Yeah. A blend
product.
A blend that somebody picked.
I think it goes a long way to talk about the, the value of it and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I want to do this water thing.
How much? And you tell me how much you're going to We have about, you want to use that? Add a little more of each?
I think so.
How much?
Up to about an ounce, I would say. That's probably good right there. And then I would say like...
How many caps?
I would say with that cap, maybe like 3 or 4.
Do 3.
Yeah, let's see what 3 gets us first.
1, 2, 3.
Nobody could see that other than me, but there was enough water that got outside of the glass, so when Eric picked it up, it stuck to the coaster.
I'm not good with mixing water. Yeah, it lightened it up pretty good.
All right. So, our buddy... Actually, I'm probably going to have to borrow your
cap
water in the cap. Our buddy, Troy Mancusi, at the Speakeasy, Wisconsin, shared a video the other day that I watched. And I don't watch a whole lot of this guy's content, but when I do, I am always left reminded that I know very little about the world of whiskey comparatively, especially with people who
have
been doing this for a lot longer.
That's me all week long with the amount of people that we talk to and stuff. I'm like, shit.
So Ralphie,
he's from the Christmas Story.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
No, he's
Ralphie May.
He's an Irish whiskey reviewer.
Okay.
And I can't remember the particular product. This was his like 986th review that he's done for his YouTube channel.
That's a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. And I believe it was a cask strength, or at least in the way that he was describing it, higher than 50% ABV.
Okay.
Right. And he brought up this really good point, a couple of really good points. The first one is that we tend to forget that master distillers and master blenders, when they are creating products, and this definitely we can directly attribute this to Brent Elliott.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's something he said, it's something that we know is his practice, especially when he's creating the small batch LDs every year. He will cut everything down to about 20% ABV.
40 proof.
And the reason behind it, there's a couple things behind it. The first is that they're trying a lot of stuff.
Right.
He's going through a bunch of different products, trying to taste them and give accurate notes and say, you know, where these flavors are really coming from by removing the alcohol.
Yeah.
And so what Ralphie is getting at, the first point is, if it's good enough for the master blenders and the master distillers, we should also be able to experience that by knocking off some of the ethanol.
Right.
The other thing, too, and this is not me preaching or doing a PSA, but it really did just kind of smack me a little bit with the realization. Like, even just like, if you're somebody who's trying to cut down on drinking, or somebody who's trying to cut down on drinking high proof stuff, the point that he made was that the more high proof whiskey, alcohol, distilled spirits that you are drinking, the more that you are opening yourself up to the possibility of throat cancer.
Damn.
And the reason being that you are constantly basically attacking the membrane in your throat with high proof alcohol that it's not accustomed to.
Right.
Right. So when you have things like acid reflux, you have hiccups, you wake up the next day and you still have a sore throat, and you drink more on top of that, that's your body telling you to stop.
Stop it. Stop.
Or cut down, or
Get some help.
or something. And the biggest issue that I have had, at the very least, with trying to drink less in an effort to be healthier, not even just to lose weight, just to be healthier. Whenever I've gone into the doctor recently, my blood pressure's been a little bit high.
It's me.
I'm turning 30 in a couple weeks. I don't want that to be a regular occurrence. And I do it like before I drank.
I was going to get you at the throat, but you didn't even flinch.
I know, right?
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was looking for an opening.
If I had just actually like,
and you kept talking, that would have been amazing.
But like before I was drinking, like I didn't really have high blood pressure. I always had low, or exactly, what is it, 120/80?
Yeah.
That you're supposed to have.
Yeah, that's the quote norm.
The golden standard. Yeah. It was always like that. And I mean, not that it's been super high, but like 130/90, like that's a little bit elevated.
A little bit.
And the doctors are still kind of like, hey, you okay?
Yeah.
And part of it too is that I get anxious. I go to the doctor and I get anxious.
Yeah, your blood pressure goes up.
Yeah, exactly. So there's all those different little aspects of it. So if you are looking for like a good reason or a palpable piece of information that can help you at least overcome some of those mental hurdles
Yeah.
to get past, like, not everything has to be 100 proof. Not everything has to be cast strength, stuff like that. Because I do think that there is still so much value in 90 proof, 86 proof bourbons and whiskeys.
I've drank more of that lately than I have anything, just because, like you said, the way I feel. Like,
yeah.
I don't like waking up the next day, having to get up early and being like, oh, I can tell that I was drinking like barrel proof for several pours.
And one of my favorite things that I've had recently, I don't remember if I talked about it last week or not, but I think I did, Jim Beam Repeal Batch.
Yeah.
86 proof, non-chill filtered. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's got so much depth of character to it, and it's 86 proof. And, I'm not fully abandoning my Turkey 101s or my Benchmark Full Proofs or my Knob Creek Single Barrels or what have you. But I think as far as like a healthy relationship with bourbon goes and a healthy outlook for your future should go, less is more, one, and lower proof does not always mean worse.
No, that's a big thing that I've found out over the past year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm enjoying more lower proof stuff than I'm barrel proof stuff.
So I'm trying to, and I still love barrel proof.
Of course.
I mean, I would prefer to reach for barrel proof.
Right.
But if I'm going to keep up this hobby, if I'm going to keep up, even if I reduce it to like this habit,
right,
there's healthier ways to go about it.
Right.
So
here we
there
go.
You go. So we've let this sit with a good amount of water for a bit. I'm sure it's kicked off enough of the ethanol, excuse me. But we'll certainly see. There's a banana note I wasn't getting before.
There's a gingerbread note that I was not getting. There's no alcohol on the nose. It's all flavors.
So, like, if we're trying to give like a case study, this is a pretty good example of what Ralphie's talking about.
Yeah.
That it does get rid of that ethanol kick that you're
Do you think
trying to overcome.
Do you think that, I know the master distillers they're looking out for the business as a whole. Do you think they do that too, to be like, hey, if there's people that like their whiskey with splashes of water in it at the bar, they want it to taste good too?
I don't know if it's done intentionally, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that they're not thinking about it.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah, they're not thinking about it. Now, I don't, especially if it's already lower proof.
They're like, give me some Jim Beam white label with a splash of water.
And like my
baby.
dad's drink of choice is Maker's Mark with a splash of water. That's his thing.
Yeah.
I just, it goes back to our conversation about Basil Hayden towards the beginning of the year.
Right.
How was that the beginning of the year?
I don't even know. So what proof do you think this is right now?
I would say this is probably closer to 100 proof right now.
All right, let's see.
All right.
Ooh. I don't know. That might be 90 proof, but it's good.
Yeah.
That is rye.
Wow.
I don't get any of that peach that I got earlier. I get rye whiskey. If I was pairing it, it would be paired with like a muffin, like some kind of muffin.
I was going to say, if ever there were such a thing as rye bread carrot cake.
Yeah. Something like that.
That would be what it would.
Yeah.
What it would be. Like if you somehow were able to make a carrot cake with rye as the base, with the cream cheese frosting and everything.
Ooh, I like that. All right, I'm gonna go
really
even
good.
lower.
I'm down too.
I don't know what that is now.
And that's getting super light.
Yeah.
Too. I don't know how well that's showing up on camera.
I think you can see through it, especially like.
Oh, you definitely can.
There. I'm not mad at that at all.
See, now it's getting into the territory of too much water for me.
Now it tastes like a low proof.
Yeah.
Or not taste, sorry, it smells. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not either, but I'm trying to figure out, like...
That tastes like more like Jim Beam. Not tastes like, it reminds me more of like a Jim Beam white label. But is there like a 80 proof rye? Is there an 80 proof rye? Because I
don't know.
I get a little bit of the
I don't
rye.
know.
I can't think of one myself.
Do you get more savory notes? Because I'm getting more like just like a beef quality almost to it.
I can see that. It's a rye. I get more of a just a salty note.
Yeah,
like a little
maybe
bit of salt.
maybe that's what it is.
I don't mind that either. Would I prefer this? Probably not.
Mm-mm.
But if I was like, I'm going to add some water and just make like, make one like rocks glass with like an ounce of whiskey and like half water. I don't know.
I wouldn't be upset about it.
No. But is there an 80 proof rye?
The only thing I can think of is Jim Beam rye. But I don't even know if that's...
Jack Daniels rye?
Jamie, can you look that up for us, please?
Appreciate it. Just let us know. Put it up on the screen. No, keep scrolling down. No, it was right there.
Hide your porn.
No, click off of that. No, don't put that up there. Yeah, you're getting close. Right there. All right, pull it up. What is Roundstone rye?
From Catoctin Creek?
Oh, interesting. So what's Jack Daniels and Jim Beam rye?
The single barrel proof rye?
Jack Daniels straight rye whiskey. 80 proof.
Really?
Nope, 90. It's 90.
See, okay. So the Jim Beam rye whiskey, pre-prohibition style, 90 proof.
So most ryes are 90. I've not, that thing that we read earlier was the only one that I know.
Roundstone rye from Catoctin Creek. Koval single barrel rye with Wild Turkey rye as the picture. That's really funny. Well, Wild Turkey rye, 81 proof.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Huh.
They have, it's like regular
I don't know
Wild
if I've
Turkey.
ever had just regular Wild Turkey rye.
Like
I've always had
regular Wild
101.
Turkey.
Yeah.
The regular is 81 proof.
Never
too.
had it. Never had it.
So
most ryes are 90 and above.
pretty much. High Spire Kentucky Pure Rye Whiskey, 80 proof.
Wow.
Old Overholt, 80 proof. That doesn't seem right. I thought Old Overholt. Oh, wait, no, that's right. Yeah. There is an 80 proof Old Overholt.
So it's Jim Beam rye.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know, as much as I want to find the cast strength rye for my everyday drinker, I kind of feel like we should explore some of the lower proof.
Start low and work our way up.
Yeah. May as well be a fun journey to go on together.
Okay.
But
Okay.
not bad. I don't want to score this based on all the water that we've added.
No.
So let's pour a little bit more back neat. We should get Will and Grease back on the show sometime.
It'd be pure chaos.
I really wish we could go to Southern Whiskey Society.
Yeah.
Since they're back.
It's back. New management. Supported by the boys themselves. So,
All right.
You're up.
Nose, palate, finish, and price. Each category is out of 5. Final score is out of 20. We give it that score. Yes. Nose. Score give you. Eric?
4. Peaches and cream.
I gotta agree with you, man. It's Rye Plus.
Yeah. It's Ry3.
It's Ry3. Yeah, Rye cubed. I really like it's different but familiar enough to where I'm not feeling like I'm being thrown off by anything.
No, I think I flip on the palate with the notes. It's definitely stone fruit on the nose. Peaches. But then the palate, like I go into like, oh, this is like a toasted rye. I get all those toasted rye.
I'm gonna also give the palate a 4.
Same.
It's explosive, and where we're talking about the staves and grain shark repellent, that has this just like in your face immediately kind of intensity to it.
Yeah.
But this like starts a little soft, hits your middle palate, then explodes. And it's just, it's really solid, man.
I agree.
It's really, really solid.
I agree.
What do you think about the finish?
Normally, I feel like the finish is like when it goes from nose to palate like this. I'm going to pull back a little bit on the finish.
I think so too.
So 3.5. It's a good rye finish, but I don't get those peaches and like that marshmallow and all that on the finish. I just get like a rye finish.
Yeah.
So the finish doesn't really add much to it. It's still a good finish. I feel it, but I got to knock it down a little bit from everything else.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I think that it is still very present.
That's the toilet.
Oh, okay. I thought that you had a
No.
Flintstones dog running upstairs.
It's all the pipes. They're exposed.
No, I'm gonna give the finish a 3. It's definitely still there. I could use just a little bit more length to it.
I agree.
And I don't think that this is truly not a knock on Oak and Thieves, guys, but I don't think that it really goes anywhere different on the finish.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said. It has a rye finish.
Yeah.
I don't even get like the peaches and the cream and the marshmallow and stuff. Like, it's just a rye finish.
Yeah.
So
yeah, not bad. Price is a little bit high.
You got, I mean, taking into like it's a pick. It's from a brand that's kind of how their prices run and all that. I'm not mad about. I got one myself.
Yeah, I mean, I jumped on it. I almost didn't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
3.5 for me on the price.
I was going to go 3.5. I think there's plenty of products that are more than $87 that
are not as good as
not
those.
as good.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I feel like $75 to $90 right now for a kind of a unique single barrel from a group or a store or something like that is about the average. Like, I expect to pay that much for this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave it a 15.
I gave it a 14.5.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there is any still available right now.
I don't know.
But if there is, I would encourage you to grab one.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to tuck this away in all of my mini whiskey bottles and hopefully come across it again.
Right now, you got the best time
point.
to do that because you got it all in box.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get rid of all this stuff, man.
Pours from the floor.
Pours from the floor. We might just have to do like a full bonus episode in the main feed for Big Ass August.
Yeah.
Where we do pours from the floor.
We just go through your box and find a bunch of stuff that needs to be empty that is just taking up room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also want to do, because I know how many I have and how little I have per bottle, Elijah Craig barrel pick. Like, not cast strength or barrel proof, but like the 94 proof ones.
Yeah.
Just make an infinity bottle out of all those. Because I have so many of them. Before we get to high proof hot takes, do you want to do barrel rings?
We got one?
We got one this week.
Well, if you don't know what barrel rings are, it's the segment of the show where you can call in, you can leave a voicemail, be part of the show, and we'll play it here. We'll reply back to you. You're like the third host for like 1 minute. And you can call 859-428-8253. I don't know why I ended a 3 on an I, but all right, what we got?
All right. Well, this
Let
one.
me guess. Is it the same person that always does?
Nope.
Oh, he's failed again, guys. Wisconsin Bill. Failed
Eric,
again.
the whiskey mute.
Oh.
I'm always driving whenever I leave one of these. I'm
I
not
know
sure
that
why,
voice.
but I just want to congratulate you on your sponsorship for your smoked old-fashioned kit. That is awesome. I'm so proud of you. Look, the feud ends. We're both doing good. You got a sponsor now. Man, I don't know what to say. I could cry, but I can't cry. I'm driving. And no one wants to see a man cry when he's driving.
Yeah.
I love you. I hope you have a good weekend. Mwah.
Oh, that's from my buddy Chad, My Daily Bourbon. Always showing the support and love. Yes, I do have a sponsor. I think the code still works. You can go to House of Dare, Dare. They got a smoked old-fashioned cocktail maker. 15W Mutant. Use the code, 15% off. Thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. Love you too. It's okay to cry when you drive. That's just how we do it sometimes.
I've done it.
I do it all the time.
I've done it multiple times, man.
Almost every day.
I feel like you do it when you're on your way home from work sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Do you have any high proof hot takes?
Yeah,
this
I do.
week? Oh, no.
People who drive Teslas.
Oh.
And I said people who drive Teslas.
Yeah, I've been on a bunch of road trips this summer.
Not people who let the Tesla drive you.
People who are actively driving Teslas.
What are you doing?
Why aren't you letting it drive itself?
Okay, for one thing, this is my opinion. I don't think it's a great looking car. I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the look of it.
It's too futuristic in a bad way.
It doesn't sound cool. It sounds like a little toy car to me.
Also, shut up with your cameras that turn on every time somebody walks even closely to your car.
Yeah.
Even barely close.
What?
Stop it.
What's the
Really?
big deal about a Tesla? It's a car that drives you around and you can do whatever you want. But I turn around every day and I see a Tesla, and you know what I see? 10 and 6 or whatever it is.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. People just doing this. I'm like, what are you doing?
10 and 6.
10 and 6. 12 and 8. I don't know. What? But why?
I kind of do 10 and 5.
I just do this, at the bottom. I'm just driving with the bottom of the steering wheel.
Sir, could you show me your hands, please?
Yeah, sorry. I'm a safe driver. But seriously, what are you doing? There's a guy in our neighborhood. I feel like I read somewhere that the first little bit you just get used to it, and so people drive it and it kind of learns the area. I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know. I don't have a Tesla, but I know the Tesla drives you around, and the guy's been driving it for at least 2 years.
And he still drives it like that?
Still drives it like that. What are you doing? Let the Tesla drive you. I hate that.
Did those trucks ever come out?
No. People are still pre-ordering them or something like that.
Good luck getting nothing, idiot.
Yeah. Jeez.
I've got a nicer one.
I don't have anything against Teslas. I'm just saying let it do its job.
I feel like this is a high proof hot take for...
This is another light high-proof hot take.
No, it's kind of heavy because I think that... All right, look.
Just say it.
I recently looked at our main demographic for the podcast.
Okay.
29 to 34-year-old males.
Okay.
Love you guys. One of the big things that we preach a lot on the show is self-improvement and men's mental health. If you are a man listening to this podcast and you are having trouble working on yourself, whether that means asking for help, whether that means admitting that there are things that you could improve in your life, it is okay to ask for help.
Do you think...
And it's okay to admit that you need to work on yourself, and you should actively improve on who you are for the benefit of yourself and those around you.
All jokes aside, I still have friends who live back home, Eastern Kentucky, who are... They are in that mentality that oh, I'm still supposed to be tough and all that stuff. And I feel like there's a lot of people that still don't feel like they can just talk about their feelings or they feel like they can't cry about something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I talk to April all the time about stuff.
Yeah, I talk to Lucy constantly
I let it
about
out.
the way that I feel
I
about
talk to Perry
things.
about things.
Yeah.
I mean, well, freaking like I let out a good cry every once in a while. It's okay.
I can't even quantify the number of times that you and I have had deep, honest, meaningful conversations where one or both of us have wound up crying over.
Yeah, or at least our eyes are watering.
Yeah, or just that feeling of emotion, and I think that's kind of what I'm getting at. Give yourself the chance to feel strong emotions.
Yeah.
Because usually those strong emotions are there for a reason, and that reason typically is because something is impacting you so hard in your life that it either needs to change or you need to be made aware of it and implement it into who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Sometimes those two things go hand in hand. Sometimes they operate on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. But we're not always right 100% of the time.
Probably not most of the time.
Probably less than half.
Yeah.
Probably less than 25%.
16%.
And the quicker we are to admit that, the quicker we are to improve ourselves and improve the lives of those around us.
Mm-hmm.
Not just our own, the lives of those around us. High proof hot take. It ain't all about you.
Oh yeah, it ain't all about you, bro.
It ain't all about you, man. You know,
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, Steve. No, I'm just kidding.
God, Steve's like, oh God, oh no.
Somewhere between somebody better not piss me off today, and I just need somebody to tell me that I need help so I can go do it.
There's probably like 50 Steves listening. Like, no. You get like 50 messages. You made it better. I did it. I talked about it.
I'm not trying to. Don't thank me. Work on yourself.
Yeah.
Thank yourself for the time that you have given to improving who you are.
Yeah.
We're just here to encourage it. Why'd you turn your hat sideways a little bit?
Because it was like coming down this, and I couldn't like bend my neck like this. The bill was like sticking into my neck like this.
Whew. All right, tips and bits.
Tips and bits. Don't watch Gunda.
Or
do it.
tell a friend
Or do this.
doesn't listen to this
let you go
podcast.
first. I'm going to let you go
Tell
first.
a friend who doesn't listen to this podcast to watch this movie. It's on Hulu, by the way. We didn't mention that up top.
Yeah, it's on Hulu. It's free. Imagine if I paid for this.
I would have paid you back. Genuinely, I would have paid you back if you had done that.
Yeah, what else?
No, I don't. I mean, I think that's really funny.
It is
to do that.
100% a good. As long as your friend isn't somebody that's into farm animals and just loves to watch them do nothing, then if they are, you gave them an hour and a half of something good.
Do you feel like this is a good movie to distract a toddler?
No, there's no color.
But what if they like animals?
It's still no color. It's boring.
All right, fair enough.
There's no like, oh, look at them doing little things and stuff. It's in black and white, and there's nobody talking.
Eden's super into Barbie right now, so
she hate this.
Yeah,
she's on my side right now.
But on a less, I personally was dealing with a lot of mental health issues recently, and today. I'm not saying this is the perfect way to take care of them always, but it had been a while.
Oh,
and it was something I hadn't tried before.
Oh,
I figured it was time for a new start, a new leaf, if you will.
Okay.
I started a new village on Animal Crossing. New Leaf.
Not where I thought that was going.
The old bait and switch. So
Tell me about it.
well, I'm not very far into it, but when the pandemic was really kicking off and Animal Crossing New Horizons was released, for a lot of us, it was a good source of just escapism.
Yeah.
And I don't go back to my New Horizons island very often. Way less than I should. Especially since I started a new one. I feel like I'm starting a secret family away from my actual.
Like a mob boss who just started a second family. You're like, don't tell anybody about this. Also, I love you. Here's some money.
But yeah, it's just refreshing to have something like that. And not everybody's into like life sim games or anything, but yeah, it was a 3DS game for the Nintendo, of course. But I'm having fun with it so far. Good. I'm like excited to start playing it again.
That's a good little. Are you still playing Tears of the Kingdom?
I'm taking a little break at Tears of the Kingdom.
You gotta give it a little break. Huh?
I do. I'm getting to the like really intense grinding portion of it, like the last 30% of completion. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish it because I'm not that good of a video game player.
Right.
But I'm committed to finishing it. It's gonna be a long time.
Yeah.
Coming. So anyway, still go play Tears of the Kingdom.
Right.
What about you, man?
Well,
you saw a couple movies.
I did. Me and April did the Barbenheimer.
I'm so jealous. I wish I had time this weekend.
I'm gonna pull back just a little bit and say, like, the internet is a wild place. Mm-hmm. Social media is a wild thing. Mm-hmm. And the majority of it is toxic and it's depressing and all that. But every once in a while, there comes a little thing that's like a little trend or something that just makes you be like, that's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Try that in a small town.
Oh, I would have probably got my balls cut off wearing pink in a small town. So, and I'm from a small town, and that shit don't happen in a small town. So, that's a whole nother topic. But, good Lord. Yeah, try that in a small town. They probably don't even have a movie theater.
Anyway, let's just...
Anyway, we did Barbenheimer, where 2 movies came out at the same time this weekend, and the internet has been making a big deal about it, and rightfully so. It's Oppenheimer and Barbie. And luckily, me and April were both off work. We've done stuff with the kids the last 2 days, and we said our date today, we're going to go to the 10:40 showing of Oppenheimer. I think it said Oppenheimer. It's Oppenheimer. Yeah. And then we got a 30-minute break in between a 2:25 showing of Barbie. So we went to the movies.
Wait. Oppenheimer is 3 hours long?
3 hours long. And I will say, it doesn't feel like it.
I believe that.
It does not feel like it. So, Oppenheimer. I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan.
Yeah.
Love what he does. We've seen it.
Did you like Tenet?
Yes.
Okay. I've actually not seen it.
I like Tenet. I can see why people
were
like
it tonight, actually.
I can see where people had gripes about it, but it's still, I think it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. But I went into this thinking, like, I'm not a big history guy. I can honestly say I knew Oppenheimer, what he did. I didn't know anything about it. I don't know a lot about the war. That's just not my thing. History is not my thing. Luckily, my wife April loves history. She knows all about that stuff. So I was like, I got this. And I knew she wanted to watch Barbie, and I'm like, let's do this. And she agreed, and it was fun. But this, I was more worried that, like, you know, all these Christopher Nolan movies that we watch, we've got Tenet, we've got Batman, we've got Inception. There's like this like kind of supernatural or like superhero or something going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is just based on like actual history. You know what I mean? And so the first movie we watched was Oppenheimer. And for 3 hours, I was immediately engaged. And I was learning. I was like, oh, that's what happened. But I was like, I slowly started to get anxious. As this movie goes on, you're like, what is going to happen right now? And then there's like the way he films it and the way he cuts it, there's kind of like 3 different like sections going on at the same time. And at one point, kind of the midpoint, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, they were getting ready to do something. And I'm like, ah. And then the end, you kind of figure out what happened and all that. And you're like, oh my gosh. Like it was like a roller coaster of emotions. And also, you know what the atomic bomb did. So you're like, oh my God. So then we had...
I know what it did, and I know that it was not necessary to win the war.
No, and you find that out in there, and you kind of see how he felt about that. It's Oppenheimer developing the atomic bomb, and you see it play out and how he feels about it and all this other stuff going on. I'm not going to spoil it.
Sorry, this is a tangent. And we knew that we were weeks away from a Japanese and German surrender in World War II.
Yeah.
And we still opted to drop the atomic bomb.
And
we could have gotten away, with dropping 1. But we dropped 2.
Yeah.
And the second one, arguably, was even less necessary than the first one.
Yeah. So if you feel like Perry did, you'll see this play out in the movie.
Well, this is an opinion I've held for a very long time, and I don't talk about it very often, but I'm also kind of not like a super history buff, but I don't know. And don't look at me.
Just watch the movie.
I really want to.
It is 3 hours, but you will never know it. And Christopher Nolan, the effects and the way he cuts it and the actors. Oh my God. You know Josh Peck's in this movie?
Oh yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Bunch of other random people too. You're like, what? Who?
I just watched Josh Peck in How I Met Your Father last night. Like,
so like
what a switch.
Masterpiece. I will say it's a masterpiece. And I'm not even a history buff, and I love this masterpiece. So we have 30 minutes. We go back out to the car. We try to save some money.
Make out. Okay.
We kissed for a little bit.
Good for you. Keep the marriage alive.
Yes. But we
the
had
spark
30
is
minutes.
important.
But also, we're trying to be on a budget because we've spent all this money on kids and stuff. We packed a lunch, packed some sandwiches.
Nice.
We ate lunch in the car, and then we changed because we went full drip on both movies.
Yeah, you did.
Oppenheimer, black, grays, dark. I had some black Jordan 2s on.
Pictures up on the video version for anybody listening.
And then, you can go to Instagram and see that. Barbie comes up, all pink. I'm still wearing, this is what I wear. I got pink shorts on. I had pink shoes on. It's built in.
Yeah.
So we go
swim trunks.
Yeah, I can wear these swim trunks. Run, sweat, all that stuff. Barbie. I love this movie.
I'm so excited to see it. I'm arguably more excited for Barbie than I am Oppenheimer, but I cannot watch one of them without the other right now.
Oppenheimer is just a movie masterpiece. Barbie is an entertaining masterpiece with a built-in message. Okay, so Barbie is visually, it's cool. Like there's like a toy world and like real world thing going on. Me and April already talked about this, so it's okay for me to say Margot Robbie is Barbie.
Yeah.
Like you put a Barbie doll, the blonde, stereotypical Barbie, and you put her there, played it perfectly. Yes. Yeah. Ryan Gosling, amazing. There's a song in this that they sing that's like a cover. I'm not going to spoil it. It's amazing. It's so funny. But all in all, there is a message that this movie has that really like, how am I trying to say this? It's kind of like an equal thing. Like women and men, we have a thing in our country, or we used to, and we still do, where women are not treated equal as men.
Yeah.
You know, and having a daughter, I
got
see
one of those.
Yes, you got one of those. And I see it more now than I did before. And I'll admit it. I see it more now. I pay attention to that. And I think this movie shows it. And it does it just like, this is not one of those things where like, oh, they're just trying to be like women power, blah, blah, blah. No, it talks about like how like men are treated too. Like there's a great message behind this movie. But at the same time, the music is great. I love like the whole aesthetic of it, and I love the messages that it has.
It seems like the comedy is really well paced too.
The comedy like is sprinkled in there enough to where you could, if you have like a 10, 11, 12-year-old, you could take them and they would be entertained. But then there's like those little jokes that like only the grown-ups are going to understand.
Yeah.
But honestly, nowadays, like the 10-year-olds will probably understand too.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
Friggin' internet.
It's a great movie. I love both of them. I don't know if I can say which one I like the most because they are two completely different movies, but at the same time, watching them back to back, it was one of the funnest 5 hours of like movie entertainment that we've had. Like, and dressing up, like have fun. Like, if you want to wear all pink and you're a dude, like just do it. Like,
who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
You can do that. Even if you're in a small town, you can wear pink. Who cares? You want to dress up for Oppenheimer? You want to dress up for Barbie? Just do it. You know what else you can do? You can go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month. You can support the show.
I'm so sorry.
For what?
Making you watch that movie.
Don't be sorry.
I just love
Don't
you.
be sorry.
And
I love you too. As a co-host, I just do what you want me to do.
No, but that's not fair. I've never done that to another co-host, and
you know what? That makes me feel even better.
It wasn't even worth it for the bit because I knew that
it was worth it for the bit.
But was it though? Because
did you have a good time doing that?
I did laugh a lot, but now it's like,
did you
at
laugh?
What cost?
Did it make you feel good in that moment?
Yeah, but not long term.
Stop. That moment, you had a good time. You played a prank. And you know what? It gave me the opportunity to think of something to do to you that you will never know what's coming. But, honestly, it was fun.
I worry because my birthday's in a couple weeks.
So is mine. Big ass August, baby.
Big ass August, speaking of Patreon.
Patreon.com.
Man, I can't wait for you guys to see everything that we have in store.
Support the show. Go there. Just do it. You can. I did the Disney Whiskey Mutant coffee cocktail on there. We got a good pours from the floor this week. Support the show there. You get all the bonus stuff. You get this show a little early. You get it uncut. You can hear what we talk about when we're doing edits, or Perry's like, I'm going to cut that out. Patreon doesn't get cut out. No, you get everything. What?
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't either.
If you want to send us an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. That's where you can send us some suggestions to pair. You want to send us some samples, go through that. You can also send us DMs on Instagram, Threads, Facebook.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I need to say something. And I'm going to unlock a little memory in your brain.
Oh, boy.
Too. It's an apology in advance. But we will get to it. I cannot remember who it was. But do you remember when we asked somebody to send us a handwritten letter with a wax seal on the envelope?
Somebody did that?
Somebody did that. I have to find it. I opened it before the move.
Scarlet letter.
I know it's got to be. I have to find it.
Okay, well, anything like that, you want to send handwritten letters, send us an email, a DM. You can go to Instagram at My Bourbon Pod. You can go to Instagram at Whiskey Mutant. You can go to the Facebook group. This is My Bourbon Podcast Facebook group. We're all both on Threads now. We try not to talk too much about whiskey on Threads because it's just something a little different.
This is work.
Oh, that's
Why
not
do
it.
I have this?
What if work sent you a letter with a wax stamp? If you want to get some This is My Bourbon Podcast apparel, you can go to My Bourbon Shop.
Bourbonshop.threadless.com.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. If you want to get some Whiskey Mutant merch, whiskeymutant.myshopify.com. If you want to go to YouTube, we put all the shows up there, video versions. Oh, that's your summary. YouTube, This is My Bourbon Podcast. Perry goes live every Thursday. He's going to get back into that. I try to join him when I'm not working. And then you get the video version of this show on there, usually about a day or so later. And then just support the show. Leave us a review. Hit the like. Whatever you're doing right now, review it, like it, subscribe. All the stuff you already know what to do. I know you watch Mr. Beast. He tells you all that stuff too. We probably will not hire assassins to chase us down and kill us for $1 million. But you know what? It's just as fun just to watch us do that. What was your blood pressure this time? What? Perry, that's not good.
I just broke my foot.
That doesn't have anything to do with your heart. We're going to talk about this later. But until then,
I'm Perry.
I'm Eric, the Whiskey Mutant.
And this is My Bourbon Podcast.
I've become death. I'm the destroyer of worlds.